to the banks of the River Tyne. There's lights that burn so brightly, in the northeast sky they shine, from the place that Geordies worship, where legends wear number 9. You can travel right round the world, even meet the Pope in Rome, but nothing beats the feeling of when you come back here to home. No matter how life changes, we'll never be far apart. The northeast always home, and it's always in your heart. Take me home to the banks of the River Tyne. Take me home to the place that I call mine.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, I have been off the air for a while, and it's not been because I've wanted to be off. It's just because I have been having to search for a new car. Well, wasn't needing a new car, but I did want a new car, so I upgraded my car. And so I've been coming in from work searching for cars, and but now I've got a car. Normal service is resumed, and so you have got a lot of live shows coming up and some good ones to come as well. So thank you very much indeed. Also, if you do like what you see, then please do smash that like. It really does help the channel stay near the top of the search. It means new viewers can find it easily. Also, if you are brand new to the channel, then please hit the subscribe. Come and join this great community here, and the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. 15 away now from 1,000 subscribers, so that's absolutely brilliant. Thank you very much to everybody. If you do want to be a member, it's 99p, so just click the join button to do that. And also you can make a donation by clicking the $ in the chat as well. Welcome, Roly. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. I'm glad to be back on the live shows.
Yeah, absolutely, Roly. We're back now. I mean, yes, we did a live show Saturday. The only reason I didn't do one Sunday, I was out car hunting. I was in London, in Milton Keynes, and finally got my car from Milton Keynes, and had to take a half day for work on Monday to go and pick it up. It took me 3 hours to get there. So I had to get 2 trains and a taxi. If I had got a plane, I could have recreated the movie Planes, Trains and Automobiles. So I was only missing the aeroplane. Let's get the chat. Bia says, evening, Tony and Uncle Roly. Good evening to you, Bia. Hope you're well. Jake says, Tony is back. I am back in the house, and I am back for good. So I haven't gone anywhere. People were getting a bit worried about me, but honestly, guys, I'm absolutely fine. You know, when you try to look for a car, it's like, you know, so it is hard. Ben says, hi, Tony and Roly. Congratulations on us signing Liveramento yesterday. Amazing to see. Back live. Is it true we are linked to Chalobah from Chelsea? Now, there is a link going around about Trevor Chalobah. Now, he can play centre-back, right back, and defensive midfield. So he's versatile.
He's quite young too.
Yeah. Well, at least then, if he joins us, at least he can personally ask Jacob Murphy for a shirt now, rather than trying to rip it off his back,
Yeah.
like he did down at Stamford Bridge. So, yeah. I mean, look, if it happens, it happens, you know. But as I mentioned in my video this morning, you know, the guy we're looking at, Omar Saleh from Salzburg, he looks a beast mind. He looks a good defender, and he's only 23, and he's originally from Lyon. Well, I don't think Bruno would normally wouldn't know, because he's been there since 2020 at Salzburg. But again, it's one of them we keep an eye on. You know, rumours are we're circling in for Zaniolo. Again, it's an injury-prone player. But again, we'll see what happens with that one. Ideally, we could do with a good left back as well.
Apparently, also he's interested in Joachim Andersen at Crystal Palace, but I think they want a bit more than we want to pay. So there's
Eddie Howe is hinting at, he's hinting at more signings, Eddie Howe. So it doesn't look like we're finishing the transfer market yet. So watch this space. That's what I say. Clarky says, hi guys. Hi to you, Clarky. Sefton, evening all. Good evening, Sefton. Hope you're well. Mason says, good evening. Good evening, Mason. Hope you're well too, mate. Julie, good evening all. Good evening to you, Julie. Hope you're well. Nell says, big ups, Tony Boy and Roly. Good evening to you, Nell. Hope you're well. Clarky says, what car did you get then? If that was what was important. I've went all electric. There you go. I've went all electric. Reason is I don't do an awful lot of miles. In all fact, I normally use a lot of the trains and things like that. So if I come up Newcastle, I use the train. So it's not like I'm driving that far, going to work, things like that, out and about. So I've got myself an electric Nissan Leaf. So there you go. It's a lovely car as well. And do you know what? I'm new to EV, but I tell you what, I like it already. And, I don't have to pay fuel prices anymore at the pumps. I don't have to pay road tax, I don't have to put oil in the engine. So all them costs have gone, so I'm going to save a lot of money. I charged up at home last night overnight and only cost me £3 for a full charge. Now, if I was to go at the petrol pump, I'd be putting about £60 in the diesel car. So look, I'm saving a lot of money and I'm doing my little bit for the environment as well. I'm not one of these eco warriors, by the way. So, but at least I'm doing my little bit for the environment.
Are you wearing the right colour top to be one of those? Just stop oil.
Oh God, no, Roly. Jesus, no, thank you. Hi, Tony Roly and all says, coffee. Good evening, coffee. Hope you're well. Tony's got a Lambo. No, I haven't. I haven't got that sort of money. Bloody hell, mate. I tell you, I wished I had that sort of money. Jeez, yeah. But then when I buy a Lambo, I don't think so. Kate says, hi, Tony and Roly. How are you both doing? Okay. From Kate and Jonathan. Yeah, we're absolutely fine, Kate and Jonathan. Absolutely fine. Thank you very much. Clarky says, probably, and no, thank you. Nice to see you back, Tony. Hope Newcastle win on Saturday. Absolutely, David. Yeah. Let's hope so too, mate. I mean, it's great. The Premier League starts on Friday, by the way, guys. Friday. I like coffee. Woo, woo, woo. Lamborghini. No. Lamborghini in the Saudi colours. Yes, with the Saudi flag on the roof. He sold his car to Lucas Paquetá, says Julie. Good evening, Tony and Ronnie. Good evening to you. Holly, hope you're well. Paula Galantias says, tough 4 for Luton. Pablo, thank you very much for your $4.99 super chat, mate. He says, can you put the membership link up, please? Yes, I will do, mate. I'll put that up in a second, so just bear with me, Pablo. But thank you very much indeed, my friend. Ben says, you got the match Saturday? I'm not, unfortunately, no, because it's a 5:30 kickoff as well. It's hard to get a ticket now.
It's going to be murder getting tickets. I was going to go for hospitality. There's a way of guaranteeing a ticket. I went on last week and they weren't up for sale. I went up on, I think it was day before Tuesday. Pretty much all the games of the hospitality I can afford is sold out. So I'm going to have to see. I've been keeping in touch with Sports Breaks because I did that for the last sportsbreak.com. I did that for the Liverpool game last season. I want to go to the Bournemouth game because that's the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
And that's sold out for the hospitality. The hospitality was reasonable, so it was $168.50. So you get your ticket in the Melbourne stands, good seats. I went with them for the Barracks hospitality package for the opening game last season. Good seats, decent food. Obviously, we've got a hotel ourselves, but paid about the same as I did with Sports Break for tickets, but they were in the least end, so though they're high up, you still lose perspective at the other end of the pitch. The Melbourne stand's much better because you're in the middle, sort of thing. But I did enjoy using the Sports Breaks, but they haven't got the prices yet, so I can't put that up. So I'm a bit in limbo on how I'm going to get to the game.
Well, there you are, guys and girls. If you ever want to do that, if you ever want an overnight stay as well, do what Roly did and use sportsbreak.com.
Yeah, it's really reasonably priced. I mean, it came up with me other half. We had 2 nights, plus the tickets was just under £600. And we're at the Hampton by Hilton. So it's a really good hotel. Get decent tickets. Can't grab
There you go. Julie says, Luton going down, Miss G. Paul Gardner says, I'd rather walk to and go electric. Do you know what, mate? They're not bad at all. I mean, look, I took it off I took it off eco mode, and I'll tell you what, it's got some bloody pork. It's left a few. I've left a few cars standing when I take it off eco. They're like, they're looking, because I know it's an electric car because you got the little green symbol on your edge plate. Sefton says, way to go, Tony. We have the same car. Excellent, Sefton. They're not bad cars at all. DAB radio, everything like that. Brilliant. BS says, Leaf, I used to own a Renault Twizy. Oh, God. Them Twizzies, yeah, I know what the ones you mean. Clarky says, give it a few years, energy prices go up again, and they will start taxing EVs too. Well, apparently they're supposed to be charging road tax from 2025 for 25 quid on the EVs. So, but that's the future now, unfortunately. And, but the thing is, the way prices are for fuel, it's up. I've still got another car, which is a petrol car. But yeah, if we were to go anywhere in a distance, then obviously probably use the petrol car. But there again, we could go a distance in an electric car. Just got to plan your stops where you're going to charge up. And there's plenty of chargers now. So, and there is free ones as well. So,
especially if you go on the motorway, the service stations, they all have charging points. Depending on where you work, some workplaces are now getting in their car parks are getting charging points as well.
Yeah, we got them at work as well, so I could, use it there as well.
The thing to do is when you go into work is don't charge up overnight. Make sure you've got enough charge to get you to work, and then charge it up whilst you're at work. Save yourself even more money.
Kate says, Tony and Roly, me and Jonathan got married the other day. Congratulations, Jonathan and Kate. Well done. Congratulations. And excellent.
Really pleased for you. So where you going on honeymoon?
Yeah, let me know. Roly has a Bentley, says Coffee.
I wish.
Jake says, stop blocking the roads, Tony. I don't block the roads, mate. Sefton says, you won't be disappointed. No, I'm not. Sefton, I'm absolutely... Do you know what? I absolutely think it's probably the best thing I've done, in all honesty. Lee says, even Tony and Roly, get in there. Tino Livermento, welcome to the Mighty Tune. Absolutely, mate. Lewis Adams, good evening, Tony and Roly. Who's this Amber Soler guy from Salzburg? Omar Soler. He's a French defender, 23 years of age, and he looks he looks a terrific centre half. And he's right-footed, which is what we need. So again, it's a one we just have to wait and see what happens. Chat screen was a bit weird back in the second. No worries, Julie. Ben says, how was the radio you were on, Tony? Yeah, it was absolutely fine, mate. It went down well.
Yeah, it's a really good good interview. I listened to it. I thought it was really good. Have you got the put the link in the chat? Have you got the link so you can put it in the chat so people can have a listen? I
could probably get it and stick it in there. And I'll see if I can stick it in there and then you just can have a listen. But yeah, it went really well. Jamie's a really nice lad, and it's a local radio station in Stevenage, which is over an hour away from where I am. But great young lad, 14 years of age as well, on the radio station, interviewing me. You wouldn't think he was 14 years of age. He's 14 years of age, yes. And the only reason he asked me was because he saw me on Harry's channel and he asked if I would be prepared to do a radio interview about Newcastle. So I said, yeah, absolutely. Wow. And I'll be going on a bit more often during the season, so there'll be a few more outings there. That seems better, great, Julie. David, I think it's stupid that it goes into a ballot that you can't. I know, David, I know what you mean. I think it's silly. Leeds are losing against Shrewsbury with Darlow in the nets. Lee says Luton and Sheffield United and Everton to go down. Bias says Newcastle win not 2-0 down to Sunderland. Shit. Come on now, lasses. Sefton says congratulations to Kate. Holly says what a purchase Harvey Barnes is going to be for the Toon, isn't he just, Holly? Isn't he just? 2 goals, absolutely brilliant. Julie giving her congratulations as well. Sticking with my 3-litre turbo, thank you, says Clarky. Congratulations to Kate. BR saying congratulations as well. Lee says cars should have solar panels on the roof, safe charging up in the summertime. Some Nissan Leafs do have them, but I have read things where people are saying it can actually make the battery worse by having the solar panel constantly if it's in the sunlight. So I don't know.
I think it's one of the things that they'll develop over time because it's taken long enough to get a battery that will hold enough charge to do any sort of distance. So it's probably something they'll be working on.
Kate says, bring on the honeymoon already. We went to a place called Seahouses, Northumberland. Absolutely brilliant there, isn't it, Kate? And have you had fish and chips from there? Because they do great fish and chips at Seahouses. Absolutely beautiful place. And if you go on the boat, get on the boat and go out to Holy Island. Absolutely beautiful. And you can go to Holy Island, which is absolutely brilliant. If you go on the boat as well from Seahouses, I meant to say, you can go to the Thorn Islands, where you see all the puffins and everything. Absolutely fantastic. Julie says, I know Seahouses used to be lovely around there. Evening, lads and lasses, says Predator. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. See, I'm safe and well, Predator. Safe and well, mate. Right. So, look, look, Roly. Livramento signed. What your thoughts on Livramento signing? How good a signing?
I think it's a great signing. It's young. It's very good. He missed a lot of last season for injury, but he did play the last couple of games. And he also played in the under-21s in the summer. He's passed his medical, so they would have paid special attention to his knee. But, he's... Even at his age, he's got a fair bit of Premier League experience because he started for Southampton before last season, before his injury. He's good going forward. He's very tenacious in the tackle.
Sorry, Roly, can I just cut in with some breaking news concerning Southampton as well again? It's not concerning us, by the way, with Southampton. It's concerning West Ham. James Ward-Prowse is now set for a medical at West Ham after the clubs have reached a full agreement over a £30 million deal. So West Ham did exactly what we were doing, playing hardball. What's your thoughts? 30 million for Ward-Prowse, is that worth money?
I think it's a fair price. It's not a bargain, but it's at the bottom end of how I'd value. I've been talking to my mate who's a West Ham fan. He say, "Oh, we've got a bargain." He says, "No, it's at the bottom end of my valuation. I'd say 30 to 35 is the most I want to pay for him. 30 is a decent price, considering his age, because he's going to be 30 this year. So he's got 3, maybe 4 seasons before his form really dips. He's coming off his peak. Got 3, maybe 4 seasons before you get that real deterioration in ability and form. So they've got him okay at a decent time. There's West Ham for this season. I don't know what's going to happen there. Obviously, they've got him. They've got Alvarez from Ajax. They've got Maguire from Manchester United. Thank you, West Ham. Thank you.
And did you see? And also, before we get into anything like Premier League predictions and things like that, last night, a certain team in the northeast of England who happens to play at a stadium called the Stadium of Shite, Slumberland, or Sunderland, if you want to call them Sunderland, lost on penalties to Crew Alexandra.
Yes.
And in the Carabao Cup. And you know, this is what I thought of it. Let's all laugh at Sunderland. I just thought I'd put that on. I had to do that. Sorry, guys, I had to do that.
I don't know if there's an old video on YouTube. It's a few years old, from as a speech in the Parliament in Ghana. He's talking about their finance minister, and he's talking but he's really having a go at Harry Maguire, saying that when he's at Leicester, he's throwing himself in front of the ball and defending like a demon. And people thought he was the best player in the world. Then he went to Manchester United. Now he's the biggest liability in the defence, tackling Manchester United players, setting up assists for the opponents, and when they can't score, he's scoring own goals himself.
Yeah.
If you go onto YouTube and Google, go to YouTube, Harry Maguire Ghana Parliament, it's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, Ben's asking the question there. Do you think Edson Alvarez and Maguire will be good for West Ham? I think Alvarez will. Do you know what it is? To be fair, this is probably the sort of club that will suit Harry Maguire. Now, he plays well for England, but I think at Man United, there's too much pressure there because of the way the fans are, the way the owners of the club and things like that. And I think at West Ham, he could turn out to be a decent buy for West Ham. So, again, time will tell. We'll see how it goes during the season. That's if it goes through, of course, as well.
Yeah. And apparently they're still after Scott McTominay. Please.
Yeah. Lawrence, evening to you. He says, evening everyone. For relegation, I'm thinking Sheffield United, Luton, and one of Everton, Bournemouth, Forest, or Wolves. Yeah, that's not a bad shout at all. Julie says, Tomei, the half-forward Prowse, would be a good signing for them with his Trippier-esque free kicks. Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Paul says, Wolves, Luton, Sheffield United for him. Hi to you, Lewis, by the way, you're in Spain, and I hope you're enjoying sunny Spain. Julie says, Seagull, Brotherland. Brotherland, yeah. Julie laughing because I put the laughing policeman on. EFL teams want to exit the cup. Yeah, I mean, look, Southampton lost last night as well, didn't they, Gillingham? Yeah. I think Ward Prowse is a dead ball specialist, but I don't think he's worth that much, says Holly.
He's dead ball specialist. I mean, for us, he's not worth it because I don't think he's good enough for us. But for a West Ham, I think he could do a decent job. He's still a Premier League quality player. And these days, Premier League quality players are going for around 30 million. Just the way it is.
That says 20 to 25 is about all he's worth. Apart from his dead balls, he offers nothing else.
Yeah, but if his dead balls are producing half a dozen goals a season.
Sefton says, massive attendance for the Mackhams last night. Foxy's got a question, Roly. Belgian forward, Dessas scored for Rangers in the Champions League.
Yeah, but Rangers are, again, the Scottish League isn't great. And it's in the qualifying rounds. Foxy's no...
That trip to Tranmere, says Sefton.
Oh, yes, please.
Ward Prowse got 2 years left in the Prem, says B.F. Aiken. Julie says, the Man U fans I was talking to this morning posting emojis, they're so pleased to get rid of Maguire. Foxy says he's also just given away a penalty. I've jinxed him now. I think you have jinxed him, Foxy. Right. Let's get into the first game. So, Premier League starts on Friday, and it couldn't start off with probably the better game in the Premier League to kickstart the season off. Let's kick it all off on Friday night. Friday night at Turf Moor, where Burnley take on the champions, Manchester City, Company against his ex-manager, Pep Guardiola. Roly, give me your thoughts on this game.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, you've got the reigning, defending Premier League and Champions League champions. Also the FA Cup winners against newly promoted Burnley. Burnley, I think, will be a bit of a surprise package because no one really knows what to expect from them. But Manchester City, they can be a bit of a machine. So it's going to be an interesting one. I don't know much about the Burnley players, but they were the way they got promoted last season was impressive. I still think Manchester City win, but I think it'll be a lot closer than a lot of people think. So, I mean, Turf Moor will be up for it. Their first game back in the Premier League. They'll make it tough for City. So, I'm going to go 1-0 to Man City.
1-0. Interesting, Roly. Interesting. Before I get to my prediction, let's see what the people have put in the chat for the scores. Mason says the City of the Dam in Wales have bottled their lead again. Oh, you mean Cardiff, is it? I think City are going to win 3 or 4-0, says Ben. Company facing his former club, says Julie, yeah. 4-1 Man City, says Lee. Coffee says 4-1 Man City as well. Lawrence says Burnley will be top the league alphabetical order until Man City take the lead against them. Yeah. Burnley 1, City 2, says Julie. 2-1, Julie's going for.
Yeah.
Predator says 30 million for a few free kicks and some corners are expensive. Yeah. 4-0 City. I don't think they'll go down, but Man City will win, says Lawrence. Coffee says Burnley may get stunned against City in their first game, but will pick up as the season goes on and become more dangerous. 1-0 to City, says Clarkey. City don't always start the season well, says Foxy, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Bias says 5-0 City. I mean, look, this game, I think it's going to be a terrific game. It's going to be a Turf Moor. And I can see this being a cagey game because it's the first game of the season. And I think it's going to be a bit of a surprise. And I can see a surprise in this game. Company will be up for it. He'll have his players up for it because it's against his former club. And you'll not want to lose the game. And I don't think Burnley will lose the game. As Foxy rightly pointed out, City never start well. They take a few games to get going. I see this as a high scoring draw. So I'm going 2s each.
Interesting.
I think Burnley will go 2-1 up and Man City will get a late equaliser.
Yeah,
I think it'll end 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, first game of the season is a bit of a lottery, so you never know what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. Alan says, good evening to you, Alan. He says, after the Villarreal game, so many options, no European games for a while, plenty of time to get a centre-half, absolutely. Think we will win 2-0, us Barnes. Yeah, we'll get to ours shortly, Graham, mate. But yeah, I think so, mate. I think we'll be fella. City to win 2-0. 3-1 to City, says Holly. Mason says, yes, bottled a 2-0 lead against Colchester of League 2. Tony is high on the electric fumes, says Bia. No fumes, mate. Newcastle ladies have got one back, says Mason. Oh, well, we just need another one now. Where did Mount go? Man United. That's where he went, Man United. And then Julie's just answered that as well. Right. Okay, Roly. So you're saying a City win and I'm saying a draw. Okay. Yeah. Right. So the 12:30 game on Saturday on... We used to call BET Sports, but it's now called TNT Sports because it's explosive. So they're hoping it's going to be.
I saw what you did there, Tony.
Yes, you saw what I did there. So the first game, 12:30 kickoff, is at the Emirates, and it is between Arsenal and Nottingham Forest. Okay, Roly, give me your thoughts on this game and how you see it going.
Well, I think if you look back to last season, Arsenal had a tremendous start to the season. Yeah. And they couldn't stop winning until they played us. I think that they'll have a strong start again this season. I think that first of all, a couple of decent players. Alanga's got potential. We'll have Gibbs White, Johnson, and Inawi up front. So they've got some some threat, but I think Arsenal will be too strong for them, and I think Arsenal will win comfortably. Go 3-0.
Yeah. You're going to go 3-0, Roly?
Yeah.
Not a bad shout, is it? I'll go into the chat and see what people are saying in the chat, and then I'll come to my prediction as well. Julie says 4-0 Arsenal. BS says 4-1 to Arsenal. Julie says Arsenal on fire. They are at the moment, aren't they? 3-0 Havertz, Odegaard, and Rice, says Ben. 3-1 Arsenal. 2-0 to Forest, says Coffee. Lee says 2-2. Yeah. Ian has been a member for 1 month. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Ian, and I hope you're well, my friend. Julie says, mind you, Forest have the mighty Chris Wood. Yeah. Lawrence says Arsenal should win. Hopefully Odegaard will get me some fantasy Premier League points. 2-0 to Burnley, says Paul. Pau Galactico. Ian says, I'm late, Tony and Roly. No, you're okay, Ian. You're fine, mate. Nice to see you. Get your predictions in the first game we had was Burnley versus Man City. What do you think how's that gonna go, and how's the Arsenal Forest game gonna go? Just seen a link. Yes, Philogene. Villas Philogene. Oh, right, okay, then yeah, that young lad, yeah, he's really good, isn't he? 3-1 to Forest, says Pau Galactico. Alan says, do you think Kane will go? I watched a bit of Sports Villarreal. 4-1 Kane and Madison seem to gel, look dangerous every time. Do you know what it is? I don't know, Alan. Bayern Munich are still pushing to buy him, so I think this one, I think Tottenham will sell him, in all honesty. I think they will. I think he'll go to Bayern because I think Kane might force the move.
I don't think Kane will force the move. I think that Spurs will think, well, Kane said he's not going to sign a new contract. And if it's not sorted out before the season starts, it's going to stay at Spurs. And I think the fact that if he stays at Spurs at the end of the season, he can go on a free and he can go to an English club will actually focus their minds in the next couple of days. And I think they'll come to an agreement with Bayern.
Yeah.
Because it'd be stupid not to, because they won't get anything for him.
No.
And potentially Bayern could get him for free next season, because in January they'll be able to negotiate with him. Because in the last 6 months of a player's contract, they can actually negotiate with teams from abroad.
The thing is, Roly, as well, it's not the fact that he'll go on a free to anyway. He could go on a free to a Premier League club next season.
Yeah, that's unless he signs a pre-contract agreement with a team abroad. So, because they can do that in January, whereas English clubs don't. But if he wants to stay in England, then he'll go for a free, and it's going to be someone that's going to be a rival to them if they stay in that part of the top half of the league this season, which isn't a foregone conclusion. I think if I was Spurs, I'd take the money, because you can't risk the chance of him going for nothing to an English club. And Bayern have offered good money for a very good player, but he's in the last year of his contract, and he's not Mbappe.
Yeah, absolutely, Roly. I think Spurs are playing a dangerous game here. Yeah. I really do. They need to sort it out, because if they don't, it's going to end badly for them, I'm afraid. Evening, Tony and Roly, says Jack. Good evening to you, Jack. Hope you're well. Says, yeah, it's okay. Now we understand you're late from writing them James Bond books. Jack says 3-0 to City. Anne says 3-0 City. Ian's going 4-0. Wow. Arsenal to win 4-1 says Predator. Holly says 4-0 Arsenal. Jack says 4-1 Arsenal. Nottingham to win 4-1 says Paula Galantina. Ian says 3-0 Arsenal. Alan says worth 100 million for a top 5 for them Champions League. Yeah, absolutely. Throckley says, hi lads, hi to you mate, I hope you're very well indeed. And yeah, I meant Shakhtar Donetsk with Spurs 4-1. All right, okay mate, yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. Right, so Arsenal Forest, I look at this game. Now, we saw the reverse at the City Ground where Forest won at 1-0 against Arsenal, who had bottled the title by then. And that was a game that kept Forest in the Premier League. I can't see Forest getting anything at the Emirates. I think they have played well this season in the pre-season. Arsenal have won the Charity Shield, or the Community Shield as it's called now. Sorry, not the Charity Shield. Oh, I don't know what score I'm going to put on this. You know, I think they still concede goals at the back, Arsenal. Forest are leaky, although they've just signed Arsenal's goalkeeper, Matt Turner. Now then, he's signed permanently, so he'll be up against his former club on Saturday, which will be very interesting. So, do you know what? I'm going to say this could be a close game. I'm going to say 2-1 Arsenal. All because Matt Turner will be in goal for them, and he's probably give Steve Cooper all the inside knowledge he needs to know for Saturday. So, yeah, I'm going to say 2-1 to Arsenal. Yeah, 2-1 Arsenal. Just going to some comments. Holly's asking, is the memberships on its way, Tony? I don't know, because I've not heard a thing. I mean, we're supposed to be getting some sort of digital card, and I've not had nothing yet from the club, so I don't know what's going on there. But all I do know is if you do enter the ballot, they know you remember anyway, so hopefully they'll get these sent out soon. These Paul Gallant photos are killing me, says Jack. Alan says, Gunners will improve team 3-1. Yeah, I think we're all realising that Forest will not get anything out of this game. But then first game of the season could prove us wrong. Right, Roly. So the next game, these are the 3 p.m. kickoffs now. So we start with, on the South Coast, we've got Bournemouth versus West Ham United. So West Ham United could be bolstered by having James Ward-Prowse in the side, along with maybe Harry Maguire, the Rock at the back. How would you see this game going, Roly, at the Vitality Stadium?
West Ham, I think it can be a very strange team to predict on until we get sort of like 10 games in, because we don't know what they're going to be. They've lost their best player in Declan Rice. They bought Alvarez, who's a good midfielder in. They're getting Ward-Prowse, getting Maguire, who could essentially do a decent job for them. I think Bournemouth, are going to have a decent season. It's a tricky one, this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-1. Purely because I don't know what West Ham are going to be like. I think that Bournemouth have made some decent signings. They're never going to light up the Premier League, but at the Vitality, the opening day of the season, I think they'd fancy getting a point at least.
Yeah. Just a shout out to Pablo and anybody else in the chat. If you want to become a member, it is 99p. If you do have, because I know if you've got iPhone, you can't do it that way by the join button. I have put the link in the chat and I have pinned it to the top as well. So, also we've got 29 watching, 17 likes. So if you can smash the likes if you haven't done so already, that'd be great. And also if you have, if you're not yet a subscriber, then please do consider it. It is free to do so, and we're on our way to 1,000. We're only 14 away now. So if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do, and hit that bell notification as well, because that'll let you know when we got shows. Right. Paul says, good evening, Paul, by the way. He says, Bournemouth 1, West Ham 1. Ian says, 5 of my favourite channels have all been doing live streams since 6, so trying to catch them all, Tony, lol. No, that's absolutely fine, mate. No worries. You get on when you can get on, mate. It's great to see you on, Ian. 1-1, says Alan. Biasius, have you seen the Sander Burge reveal by Burnley? It's Pink Panther. No, I haven't. Oh, their media department is bloody brilliant, isn't it? I'll have to watch it.
Very innovative.
Bournemouth 1, West Ham 2, Maguire, Thunderbolt header and Paquetá, says Julie J. Bournemouth to win, says Paul. Don't know what to expect with the Hammers. Absolutely, Alan. You don't know what West Ham's going to turn up. Lee says 1-0 Bournemouth. 2-2, says Ian. Brett says, I fancy Bournemouth to nab a sly 1-0 win. Do you know what? They could well do. Man City meant to want Paquetá, says Alan. That's interesting.
Apparently they've inquired about him.
Polino says, smash that Lakes. Thank you, mate.
Yeah.
Bournemouth 2, West Ham 1. Arsenal since 1987. Panel big up. I've hit the like button. I've out for a few birthday drinks. Happy birthday, mate. Hope you're having a great time there. Don't get too drunk, mind. And
just get drunk enough.
Yeah. And if you beat Forest on Saturday, have a few more. I'm here, just not confident us playing Baldur's Gate 3, but us to win 3-1, says Nate. Yeah, good evening, Nate. Hope you're well, mate, and glad you're tuning in as well. Predator says, think all this added extra time is going to cause a lot of kicking off this season. Yes, do you know what it is, though? I mean, look, so we're going to have what's happening in the World Cup in Australia, what happened Australia and New Zealand, what happened back in Qatar, where we could end up with 10 minutes of injury time at the end of the first half, maybe. And you know what? It's going to be absolutely fantastic, can't we? Alan says, have you seen the adverts for Amazon Friday? I've seen a few of them. I can't wait to see that come out. And Julie's laughing at me.
Will it be on Amazon coming out on Friday? Do you think it'll come out at midnight?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know what time it'll be on Roly. Or what time it'll be released.
Because I don't have a schedule like a TV channel.
No, so they don't know.
So I'd have thought they wouldn't put it up in the middle of the day. Maybe at midnight.
What do you think? What are you on about? Midnight Thursday, Roly, into Friday morning? Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean.
Midnight Thursday. It's like so you're basically Friday morning.
Is it? And are they just showing one per week, or are they going to put it on as a block so you can just go and watch it?
It's one per week. Yeah. So for all of those who don't have Amazon Prime, you can get a 3 months trial, and then you can watch them all. Yeah. Just remember to cancel once you've watched the 4th episode.
Yeah. Absolutely, Roly. So, Bournemouth West Ham. Right, okay. So, I think this is going to be an interesting game. Bournemouth did well last season under Gary O'Neill. Things obviously must have got strained behind the scenes and led to him being sacked, being replaced. It's going to be interesting. I think West Ham weren't great away last season. They didn't have the greatest of seasons, to be honest, West Ham. And it's not because Moyes is an ex-Mackham manager, by the way, for why I'm going to give you my scoreline. I just think Bournemouth might be up for it, and they might just hit West Ham. I'm going 2-0 Bournemouth. So I'm going Bournemouth win 2-0, and that's not just because Moyes is an ex-Mackham manager either, by the way. So there we go. Right, let's get into the chat. Julie laughing at beer. Oliver B. Hey, Roly, Paulie, and Top Man. Thank you very much, Oliver. Hope you're well, mate. It's been known to happen, Roly, says Julie, coming out midnight.
That's what
Friday afternoon, says Clarky, he thinks.
I was just wondering if it's a bit like when sort of like FIFA comes out. You can get it at midnight on the day of release.
Yeah. Arsenal since 1987 says this is his top 6. He thinks Man City will win the league, Liverpool will finish 2nd, Arsenal will finish 3rd, Man United will finish 4th, we will finish 5th, and Villa will finish 6th. Now, Arsenal, you'll be surprised at this. I've done a preview on Jack Shaw last night along with Roly, and I actually put Arsenal to win the league ahead of Man City. So,
Don't let me down.
So I've put you ahead, and I've not put you in 3rd place. I've put you as the champions. So there you go.
The one thing that always puzzles me is after the season they've had and the upheaval they've had in midfield, why do people always seem to think Liverpool are going to be runners-up?
Yeah. Clarky says, get your midnights right, Roly. BS says, will be 6 a.m. Friday morning. Julie says, I've watched Picard on Amazon Prime. Usually they put the programs up just after midnight. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Paul says, I would have said midnight on Friday morning. Yeah, I think that's what it'll be. Oliver says, great to see Barnes show what ESM couldn't do. Finish. We have not lost a fair player in ESM. We have Isak, an even better flair player. Do you know what? Isak done one of his dribbles again, didn't he, at the weekend, and looked absolutely brilliant. Yeah. Do you know what? I think Barnes is going to be fantastic. And, yes, we still miss ESM, but, we'll never forget what ESM's done and helped us through. I mean, look, he had to help us through times under our former owner who was absolutely awful. And so, yeah, I mean, look, he will be missed, ESM. But I'm sure Barnes will fill that void lovely. BS says, after trying to sign Harry Maguire, David Moyes is due a medical at West Ham. Julie says, this is how next season will finish. Arsenal finish top. We finish 2nd. Man City 3rd. Liverpool 4th. Aston Villa 5th. Man United 6th.
I'd take that. I'd take that now.
Yeah. Lee says, can see us getting 3rd in the league this season. That's what I've predicted. Julie says, I see us back to our old 1996 slot. Yeah. 0-0 says Coffee, Bournemouth versus West Ham. Yeah, I mean, not a bad shout. Right, the next game. The next game's at the Amex again. We're going back down the south coast, and we're going along towards the Seagulls, who are safe from the Mackhams not being in the Premier League this season. So we go to the Amex, and Brighton take on the newcomers. Yes, the newcomers who haven't been in the Premier League before. They got relegated just before the new Premier League started. So let's give a warm welcome to Brighton versus Luton Town. Roly, take it away. What's your prediction for this game?
I think that Luton are going to get a rude awakening at the Amex. I think Brighton will be too good for them in all departments. I think it'll be a really comfortable 3-0 win for Brighton. I think that Luton are a good championship side that managed to get promoted. I don't think that they've got the ability to get many points this season. I can't do anything but a comfortable Brighton win.
Interesting. Well, let's get into the. Let's get in and see what people are saying. Bias says he agrees with Julie. NUFC 2nd. Mighty Mag, welcome, Mighty Mag. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're doing well. He says, "Hi, Tony. Well, Question: if the two are suffering a bit in the league, can you see our owners getting the checkbook out? Well,
it depends what you mean by suffering.
Depends where we are in the league. I mean, look, let's be honest. And look, I'm going to be honest, chat, and I'm not saying this for any reason whatsoever. Now, look, if we started off bad, and I'm not saying we are going to start off bad, by all means, okay. All I'm saying is, I'm just putting it in this side of the. I'm just putting this into perspective. Yeah. So, right, if, and I only say this as a big if because I don't think it is, but if we did not win, say we went through a streak where we didn't win in 10 games and we got a couple of draws or something and we were struggling, I think the club would probably pull the trigger on Eddie Howe and say go. Now then, because we know the Saudis are ambitious. That's the thing. But now I'm not saying that's going to happen now. So, don't get, he wants, I'm not wanting Eddie Howe out by anywhere. I want Eddie Howe to stay and I want Eddie Howe to succeed and win trophies, So, because I like Eddie Howe, I think he's done really well for us. And I think he will do even better for us. I don't think we're going to go through a patch like that under Eddie Howe, in all honesty. Not with the quality players we're getting in the club now. So, maybe January, if, say, for instance, we've got a couple of key players out in January, then maybe we might have to get the checkbook out, depending on the injury situation. Or it might be if we get a couple of loan deals in. But
it depends where they are on the field. Because you look at the squad, now, the injuries would have to be in defence. Because I think in midfield in particular, we've got the strength to lose a couple of players and still be very strong in midfield.
But I don't honestly think Eddie Howe is going to suffer anywhere where we're going to have a massive dip in form. I really don't. And I think when we had that dip in form last year because of the Carabao Cup, Eddie Howe's learned from that. So has the team. So I'm sure Eddie Howe, this time around, will make sure the team are focused. If we get to a final, just concentrate on what you're doing. Don't worry about the final. Wait until that comes around. It's inexperience. That's what happened last season. And we had that dip in form up to the Carabao Cup final and then just after the Carabao Cup final. And we arrested that slide when we beat Wolverhampton Wanderers. So, yeah, all in all, I think, everything's been learned from. Lessons have been learned. So, yeah, I see what you mean on that question. Oliver says, Newcastle will finish third this season and win the FA Cup. I've got wood down to win the Carabao Cup, but yeah, why not, mate? Brighton 6-0 says Coffee. 4-0 says Julie to Brighton. Bia says sorry. Julie says 5-0 against Luton. Yeah. 3-0 says Alan. 3-0 to Brighton. Welcome to the Premier League, Luton says Coffee. Bia giving the thumbs up. Julie giving Bia the thumbs up. Expect a comfortable win for Brighton. Looking forward to watching the Saudi League, says Foxy. Hope ESM does well. Yeah, absolutely. They have a decent team. Will Luton be relegated by Christmas? Who knows? Gift Oban has gone 25 games and 25 goals in Roly's league. I agree with Roly. 3-0, says Ian. Foxy says, should be comfortable Brighton win, but they can sometimes destroy a team and still not win, missing chances. Yeah, absolutely. Hastings and Gandu. Liverpool will play Champions League football the coming season. Welcome to the channel, Hastings, and if you would like to hit that subscribe, then please do. Thank you very much.
We're in the Europa League this coming season.
Yeah, this season. Yeah, this coming season maybe means they'll qualify this coming season for next season's Champions League. Brighton 1, Luton 1 will be fighting like it's a final game for promoted teams, always unpredictable, says Paul. Do you know what? You're not far from... Yeah, you're right there. Foundations are huge now. No, Eddie has credit in the bank, says Jake. Yeah. Think we could get another forward in the new year. My top 6, says Holly, is Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea and Liverpool 6th. Wow.
Chelsea
Man United to finish runners-up.
Mm.
I reckon. But the thing is, with Man United, they've bought that Rasmus Højlund for 72 million quid. And I tell you now, he's got to hit the ground running, because if he doesn't, then, they're screwed. They are screwed. So that'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Mighty Mag says, Tony, I reckon the owners will back Eddie for this full season. That's the thing, though, Mighty Mag. The thing is, though, if we're struggling, I don't think they will, unfortunately. I really don't. Because you've got to look at the Saudis. They're ambitious. Saudis don't like being second best.
I mean, when Yasser did an interview after the season, he says we was asked whether expected to win the Carabao Cup. He said yes, because we want to be number one, and that is their aim, and they'll make sure they get there.
Clarky says, Nkunku's going to be a huge miss for Chelsea. Yeah, he's out for 16 weeks, isn't he? Luton will get the all-time lowest points in the Premier League, says Bia. I'm not sure. They might not.
Because it's something like, was it 10 points that Derby got?
Yeah.
I mean,
11 points, wasn't it? Coffee says, I like how they signed Highland. Now he's revealed to be injured after his unveiling. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Bia says he's out for 10 weeks, apparently. And Oliver's saying the same thing. New Man United striker injured and will miss the first few weeks. So he can't hit the ground running. Man, you are. Do you know what? Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, Oliver. It's funny, isn't it? Jake says Luton will shock everyone and win the league. No reason for us to struggle with our sterling military-esque fitness. Absolutely, Clarky. I'm not saying we will for 1 minute, mate. I'm just saying I'll just put it out there. So that's what I'm looking at worst case scenario, but that's not going to happen. Right, Brighton Luton. What do I think about this game? I think this is going to be a really tricky game for Brighton. I wasn't impressed in the American series with Brighton, to be honest with you. Whether they're going to be ready, I don't know. Luton are going to go there with full of fight. And, look, I had somebody at work who came in to do some training, and the guy's a Watford fan, and he says, do you know what sickens him as a Watford fan? Not the fact that the way the club sack managers. He says Rob Edwards was doing okay as a manager, he just had a little bit of a blip in the sack him. He says what happens, he moves to the rivals who Watford hate, which is Luton Town, moves 30 miles up the road, a few miles up the road to Luton Town, and gets them promoted to the Premier League. And he says, and that's a smack in the face for us Watford fans to take. That's what he said to me. So, look, I think Luton Town will go there with something to prove. I think this could be a draw. And I'm going to say 1-1 draw. So I think this could be a draw. Right, the next game, Roly's going to love this game. This game is, I like a bit of sticky pudding, a bit of sticky toffee pudding. You can't beat a bit of sticky toffee pudding and custard, can you? So,
yeah, no, it is.
It's going to be very, very sticky this season at Goodison Park.
Yeah,
so anyway, it is Everton versus Fulham. Right, Roly, take it away. What's your prediction for this game?
I'm going to go with a BRS prediction, 7-0 Fulham. No, seriously. I think Everton have signed Dad's Army. I don't think an awful lot of their signings. They're old.
Yeah.
I think they've improved the quality of the squad. They've let Damari Gray go as one of the bright lights that they had in last season.
Yeah.
I think they'll struggle. Fulham, it's been interesting whether they've resolved what's happening with Mitrovic or not. They didn't do too bad with him at the end of the last season when he was suspended for 10 games.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a close game. Everton will try and basically drag Fulham down to their level, kicking and screaming, and but I think Fulham will have enough quality to win it 1-0. I really hope so. Oh, I really want Everton to go down. I really want them to go down.
Yeah. So you think it'll be a 1-0 win for Fulham?
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's very interesting, Roly. Yeah.
There's a bit of bias in there as well.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Right. Let's see what the chat have got to say. See if they agree with you. You know, and we shall see. Right. Lee says goals will be coming all over for us. Players we get now, absolutely. Foxy reckons City 1, Liverpool 2, Chelsea 3, Arsenal 4, Newcastle 5th, Brighton 6th, and Man United 7th.
I'm just wondering, Foxy, why you think Liverpool will finish second?
That's two people that said that now.
They've stripped their midfield. Right, they've brought 2 good players in, but they've stripped their midfield. They haven't improved their defence. Why do you expect them to finish second?
Lawrence says 11 points. I thought it was 11 points for Derby. Hope someone breaks it since we gave Derby that's win at St. that their only win it and they nearly beat us at St. James's. Yeah, I remember that was bad. Mighty Max says I see Store have removed the home turf from the site. What the heck is going on there? I don't know what's happening there. That's interesting. Newcastle women have had a red card for Emma Kelly. Is this a league game or is it just a friendly? 2-0 Fulham, says Coffee. I think it's probably a friendly, isn't it? 3-3, says Paula Galantia. 2-1 to Everton, says Mighty Mag. 1-1. Paul says 2-0 Fulham. Lee says 4-1 to Fulham. Ian says 1-1. Oh my God, BSPFP. Pau Galactico says Everton season looking worse than me. Julie says Everton 0, Fulham 2. You're not the only one, Roly. Scouse Mackums. Says Jack. 4-1, well guessed, says Alan. If Everton don't go down, it's because of Sean Dyche, in my opinion. Fulham won't go down, but they will be in the bottom half after losing Willian and Mitrovic, says Lawrence. Yeah. Fulham to win 3-0. Everton to go down. It's a friendly for the women's team. League starts versus Halifax on the 20th of August. Okay, mate, no worries. Thank you very much. I thought because Sunderland are championship, aren't they? Jack says, be careful talking about Liverpool, Roly, lol.
I'm at home on my own now, so I can say what I like about Liverpool.
Yeah, but you might be secretly watching. You don't know. You may be on the naughty step this weekend. Right. So then.
I'll sweet talk my way into that.
So he says. Anyway, Everton versus Fulham. I think this is going to be a tricky game for Everton. I thought Fulham had a good start last season. Got the 2-2 draw with Liverpool. And Turkey Teeth then went out and complained about the pitch, i.e. Klopp, saying that Liverpool should have won that game, but they didn't win the game because of the pitch. Why the hell do you blame the pitch for not winning the game? It's down to your players, you know, and your coaching skills. So I think this is Everton's last season at Goodison before they move to that swanky new stadium, which hopefully will be shining bright in the Championship next season. At least they can jump straight in the Mersey and drown their sorrows. Anyway, actually, sorry, I'll take that back. I'll probably get into trouble for saying that, but that was a joke, by the way. Anyway, so Everton v Fulham. I think Fulham have got this one, and I'm going to say 3-1 Fulham. I really do. Yeah, I think 3-1 Fulham. Paul says Arsenal to win the championship, be the Premier League champions. Man City second, Newcastle third, Man U are fourth, Villa fifth, Liverpool sixth. BS says I think Liverpool will collapse and finish eighth.
That'd be funny.
That would make Roly's day. Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Villa, Liverpool, and Man United, says Lee. 3-1 to Sunderland now. Says Beer, and Holly says Everton run out of luck and get relegated. Everton 0, Fulham 1. I mean, remember, Everton's got that financial fair play here in October as well. Right, okay, so the last of the 3 p.m. kickoffs is at the Steel City. And yes, the Steel City is Sheffield United. And that is where we're going, to Bramall Lane. Sheffield United will be taking on the high-flying Eagles, Crystal Palace. Right, under Roy Hodgson. Now then, Roy goes there and takes his Palace team there. How do you see this game going? Is it going to be pain for Roy, or is it going to be victory for Roy?
I think that Sheffield United will be up for it. Their first game back in the Premier League. Though they've lost 2 of their best players in Sander Berge and Ndidi. Is it Ndidi? I don't think they'll score.
Yeah.
But, I think Palace weren't that great away for home last season. Zaha's not there. So I'm actually going for a 0-0 draw.
0-0 draw?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, Roly.
Yeah, I just think is that Sheffield United have a right old go. First game of the Premier League at home, you've got to go out and have a real good go. And I just think that Palace, it's not the first season that they've not travelled well. There's a bit of a surprise factor in not knowing much about Sheffield United because obviously you didn't play them last season. So I think I go 0-0 draw. One of the few points that Sheffield United get this season.
Yeah. Julie saying 1-0 Palace. Bia says 1-1. It'll be a bore fest. Paul Anson says 2-1 to Sheffield. Paula Galantia says Sheffield United top 4. Coffee says Palace 3-0. Alan says Palace to win 2-0. Sheffield been selling good players. Yeah. Lee says 2-1 Palace. 2-1 to Sheffield United, says Ian. Jack says Sheffield United 0, Palace 10, just to pay off my Sheffield United mates. Lauren says draw up, Palace win. Would have definitely went for a Palace win if it was at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, so would I.
4-3 to Sheffield United, says Paula Galantia. Lauren says can't see Palace being in the relegation battle if Elise leaves. Yeah, definitely. Sheffield United 2-0 and the Zaha hat-trick. Well, Zaha's not there now, is he? So, yeah. Look, I look at this game and look, Sheffield United fans are going to be up for it. The place is going to be absolutely buzzing. I'm actually going for a 0-0 draw.
So we agree on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to 0-0 draw. Right, okay. So, the last game on Saturday happens to be a 5:30 p.m. kickoff at tea time. And, you know, it'll be all right on the time. Absolutely. Time will tell. But anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to War Cathedral on the hill. Can only be one place, St. James's Park. Yes, that is the church on the hill. And it is us, of course, Newcastle United versus Aston Villa. So there we go. Aston Villa or Vanilla, whichever way you want to call them. Right, Roly, take it away. How do you see this game and the result?
It's going to be a tough game because Villa are a very good side. I think they've bought well this summer, but then again, so have we. I think that when we went to Villa Park, we didn't turn up. As all good teams do, if you don't turn up in the Premier League, you get, ass handed to you, and that's what happened at Villa Park. Won't be the same at St James's. We'll need to be better in midfield. bit stronger in midfield, because in the summer series, the first half they did run through us a bit in midfield, and those through balls for Watkins to run onto did trouble us. But then again, we did have Popey in as well.
Roly, some more breaking news coming in from Sky. This time it's reporting of Arsenal now. Arsenal hope to agree a deal now to sign Brentford goalkeeper David Raya on an initial £3 million loan with the option to buy him for £27 million.
Yeah, and on top of that, Raya's actually signed a 1-year extension on his contract, so that if Arsenal don't exercise the option, he's still got another year on his contract, so they might make a few quid on him after. Otherwise,
and
so
we've
the way they've structured it.
And we've also seen that Ross Barkley has joined Luton Town on a free transfer.
Back to the important game.
Yes.
It's going to be an interesting battle in midfield. I think we're going to try and start fast and dictate the game. If we do that, we win. We win comfortably.
Yeah.
It's still going to be tough. Diaby, I think, could be a threat. It's going to be interesting to see who we play at left back. I'm thinking the back five will be the same as it was for the last season, unless Matt Targett has done something superb in training, or they decide that Tino's fit to play, and they put either him or Trippier at left back.
Yeah.
I think it'll be comfortable, but I don't think the scoreline will reflect that. I think we win 2-1.
Yeah.
But I think we'll be comfortable in the game, but it will be 2-1.
Okay. Ian Fleming, thank you for your £5 donation, mate. Thank you very much. He says 5-0, Toon, Barnes hat-trick and Isak double. Let's hope, Ian. Let's hope, mate. You know, I would absolutely love that. But I'll take any result, mate. But I'll have my say in a moment, and I'll let you know. Right, let's get into the scores. 2 ugly playing styles. I think you mean Sheffield United. 4-1 to Sunderland now. Oh, bastards. Paul says 5-1 Toon win. Ooh. Alan says 2-1 close game. Villa good team. Yeah. Newcastle 3, Villa 1. Barnes, Joe Linton, and Miggy says beer. Not a bad show. Coffee says 5-4 Newcastle.
I don't think Villa are going to score 4 goals against us.
No. Julie says Hart says 17-0. Lee says 3-0 for us. Payback time. Clarky says we all know it won't be plain sailing. Either a stupid red or a bad refereeing decision will cost us any points. Yeah. No share and left back position worries me. Yeah, absolutely. Lawrence says will be a tight game, but confident we'll get the win. Yeah. Matey 2-4, Villa 3, says Julie. Can't stand Villa, says Bia. Once had to dump a girl when I found out she was a Villa fan. Bruno 2, Tonali 1, and Isak 1, says Julie. Is Lascelles fit? We don't think so. I'm not sure. Paula Galatina says 6-4 Newcastle. Villa fans, not as annoying as they once were, but still annoying. Yeah, especially Villa watch. Sheffield United 0, Crystal Palace 2, says Holly. Zaha hat-trick Holly. Villa watch, very annoying, says Coffee. 3-2, says Jack. Penalty at Newcastle 4-2. Clarky says 14 away from 1K. Get subscribing if you haven't already, guys. Thank you very much indeed, Clarky. Yeah, absolutely.
14.
So, right. Newcastle versus Villa, right. I think this is going to be an interesting game. Look, I think we just messed around with Emery's head against him when we played against them. We look on fire as a team. I think Tonali starts. I think Tonali starts as a number 6, in all honesty. Bruno plays as the 8. Barnes will definitely start on the left. I've got a feeling, I did say Livramento could start left back. It all depends how he does in training. But I've got a feeling he'll stick with Byrne in all honesty. Or, if we haven't got a centre-half, Byrne might have to step up and Botman will move over to be right centre-back. Because Botman's both-footed, by the way. Or, the other alternative is, Alex Murphy's played at right centre-back and looked okay. So he could be thrown in against Villa. Who knows? We'll not know until 2 o'clock. We'll not know until 4:30 on Saturday afternoon when the team sheet's released. So I think this will be a different game. It's going to be a difficult game. It's not going to be easy. But I'm confident we'll get the job done. I'm going to say 2-0. I did say 2-1 on Jack's last night, but I'm thinking 2-0. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the 2-0 scoreline. Yeah, I'll go with that. Oliver says, Share not fit for Saturday, so Burnwell and Botman in the middle, target a left back. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, Oliver. Could be, yeah. 2-1 says Holly to Newcastle. Tony, it's a regular thing, a Premier League match every Friday night. I see it's on the first 2 Fridays. I'm not sure after that. Yeah, it is. Arsenal were last season, weren't they? They got beat off Brentford. Was it last season or the season before? And they got beat off Brentford, didn't they?
I think it's the season.
Yeah, the season before, not last season, the season before, because Brentford's second season, wasn't it, last season? Lawrence has thought Dummett did all right at centre-back against Villarreal. Yeah, but I can't see. Not sure. Andrew says, Hi all. Hi, Andrew. We're late to the party, but welcome aboard. Hendrick and Fraser to score. Hopefully not. They've gone. Hopefully they go. 7-0 says Andrew. Everton and Luton both want to loan Anderson, says Bia. They've got no chance. Julie says, I see your usual 7-0 prediction, Andrew. We'll have to see Friday if Share and the cells is fit. Yeah, look out in the training ground photos, see if they're in them. I'll make give you an idea. Everton and Luton can have Fraser and the Irish Pirlo. The cells is very fit, says Paula. Target at left back scores for me, says Lewis Adams. Yeah, okay, absolutely. Right, okay, so we've looked at those games. Now we're going to go on to Sunday's games, and the 2 o'clock game is at the G-Tech. Yes, that is the G-Tech Community Stadium in West London, not far away from the neighbours of Chelsea. So we go to Brentford, and they are playing Tottenham Hotspur, who could be without Harry Kane if he's on that plane on his way to Bayern Munich. So, right, Roly, give me your prediction and thoughts on this game.
I thought Brentford were a really difficult side to play against last season. When Tony's ban kicked in, they didn't stop scoring goals, and Bueno seemed to pick up the slack.
Yeah.
Wendy, I think it's the other guy that got a goal, so I'm not too worried about them on a short-term basis with the goal scoring. They're difficult to break down, and I think we were the only team to beat them at the G-Tech Community Stadium last season. It's been a really tough game for Spurs. Again, don't know what Spurs is going to turn up this season. It's a bit too early to tell, but because it's at the G-Tech and how tough Brentford were there, especially if they're going to lead, I'm going for a 1-0 Brentford win.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, Roy. I'll come on to my prediction in a moment and tell you what I think. Paul says we've got goals all over our squad now. When we click, we are going to blow some teams away. Do you know what? Absolutely, yeah. Paul. You're absolutely spot on. Oliver says Newcastle win 4-0, Big Joe 2 and Isak 2.
Hope you're right.
8-0 to Brentford, says Mason. 2-1 to Brentford, says Bia. 1-0 Brentford, says Paul. 2-1 to Brentford, says Lee. Coffee says 5-0 to Brentford. Julie says 3-0 to Brentford against Tottenham Levy Scott at half time. Please, Kane, go to Munich. Yeah, absolutely. And that Shearer keep his record. Lawrence says Arsenal beat Brentford away from home, but think they were the only team to beat them in home and away as well. Oh yeah, we were the only team, weren't we?
Yeah.
If Kane plays 3-1, if not, it's 1-0 Brentford, says Ian. Probably going to go for a draw in this game, says Lawrence. I mean, look, I think, all in all, I think it's going to be a hard game for Tottenham. Brentford have got a decent record against Tottenham. Took them apart last season. What used to be White Hart Lane is now the Tottenham Stadium. Look, I think... I know Brentford haven't got Ivan Toney, but they've got that Kevin Shara, who I think is very pacey, very direct. And they've got Mbumo. They've got who's the other guy? Wissa. They've got Wissa as well. So they've got goals there. De Silva can score goals as well, and I'm sure Josh De Silva would love to score against Tottenham, with him being an ex-Arsenal man as well. So yeah, I think this could be tricky for Tottenham. I think Brentford will win 2-0, and once Postecoglou starts walking down the tunnel, the Oasis song might belt out "Don't Look Back in Anger." So yeah, as his name is Anger Postecoglou, so it would just be absolutely apt to play "Don't Look Back in Anger." And I'm sure he'd absolutely love that, because I tell you what, I would absolutely roar. I would absolutely piss myself laughing if they did that. Alan says 3-1 to Spuds. I hope Madison enjoys himself, says Andrew as well. Okay, so we've got 2 more games to go. The last one on the Sunday is the 4:30 p.m. kickoff, and it's a big game. It's a big game round the corner from the neighbours of Brentford. It's down to the bridge. Yep. The game for Ukraine was played there last weekend, and hopefully they raise some great funds for Ukraine. But now it's back to the Premier League, and it is the Chelsea boys versus Liverpool. So, Roly, how do you see this game going? Pochettino having his first game as Chelsea manager in the Premier League, up against Clippity Clop, Turkey Teeth.
Can they both lose?
No, Roly, only one can lose.
Oh, but they should allow them both to lose.
Well, unfortunately, that can't happen, mate. Sorry.
Are you sure? Can we talk to Masters and see if we can change the rules so they can both lose?
I don't think Dickie Masters would listen to me, but
Yeah.
Unless I hand him a few notes.
This one's going to be interesting in that
a few post-it notes.
We don't know what Chelsea are going to be this season, because they've done a bit of a Nottingham Forest. They've let so many players go and brought so many players in. How long is it going to take them to gel as a team?
Yeah.
And then you look at Liverpool, though they brought Szoboszlai and McAllister in, they've let so much experience go from their team. Are they going to be playing Trent in midfield? If they are, they haven't bought a right back to replace him. So I don't know what Liverpool are going to be like this season, which is one of the reasons I just really don't see why people are saying, oh, Liverpool finished second. They've not improved their defence, which was shaky at best. You could say that though the players they brought in midfield are very good, they've weakened their midfield with the players that they've let go. They've lost a lot of experience and leadership with Fabinho and Henderson leaving.
Yeah.
So, do these players step up? We don't know. There's still really a real mixed bag at the moment. We don't know what they're going to be like, how they're going to shape up. Because of that, there's so many question marks about both sides. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, that's fair enough, Roly. Tasty game, says Julie. BS says Chelsea 3, Liverpool 2, and Klopp to kick off. 1-1 draw, says Paul. Alan's going 1-1 as well. Lee says 2-2. Julie says Chelsea 4, Liverpool 4. Turkey teeth. I like the way you done that, Julie. Jack says, anyone know what's going on with the second round of the Carabao Cup? I haven't got a clue, mate. I don't know what's
I
happening.
don't care because we're not in it.
I think I'm going for a draw in this game, says Lawrence. 2-1, says Andrew. To Chelsea. 3-2, Liverpool, says Ian. Chelsea 1-1. Zaha hat-trick. 5-0 to Chelsea, says Coffee.
Well, that'd be
Klopp
fun.
will get sent off, mouthing off. Who knows? Julie says he won't cartel clubs above the rules. They're haggling over 5 million for Lavia, says Lawrence. That's interesting, isn't it? Unfortunately, I think Liverpool will be on fire next season, says Clarkey.
I don't understand why people think that.
Yeah. Very close game, 5-5. Going to be a high score draw. That one, so many players will want to prove themselves, says Julie. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout. Why are we not in it? Because we're in Champions League.
Yeah, we don't enter till the third round.
Klopp will be steaming on the touchline like Thomas the Tank Engine, says Coffee. Yeah. I'm not going to do the tune. Right, anyway, how do I see this game going? I think it's going to be a strange game. There's going to be plenty of chances for both sides. We'll see Mudryk full of running, but no end product.
I think that Nicholas Jackson looked like he can finish.
He looks a good player. He does. Do you know what? I'm going with a 3-3 draw in this game. I think that's what it'll be. I think it'll be goals in it, and I think it'll be 3-3. Nobody will win this game. It'll be a point apiece. So yeah, 3-3. Jack says, "Oh yes, being stupid. We hadn't been in the Champions League." Absolutely, Jack. Coffee says, "Jackson hat-trick." Right, okay. Now then, we then turn our attention to Monday evening, the 8 p.m. kickoff. So MNF is back on Sky. Yes, Monday Night Football. And this time, it's off to Old Trafford in Manchester to see the Red Side. The Red Side, who will be without Harry Maguire. So they can't complain when they haven't got the best defender in the club no more. Anyway, so we go to Man United, who are up against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a team in disarray, a club in disarray, a club whose manager terminated his contract because he didn't sign any players, and they've brought in Gary O'Neill on a 3-year deal. Whether he's there after 6 months is going to be very interesting indeed. They've lost Ruben Neves to Saudi Arabia. Look, how do you see this game going?
Well, Man United have strengthened their defence by shipping Maguire off to West Ham, so they'll be better defensively. As I say, Wolves are in disarray. They've sold their best players basically and not replaced them, or what they brought in isn't as good. And unfortunately, this is another one where I wish they could both lose. I say that because I'm pretty sure Wolverhampton Wanderers will lose, and I think it's going to be embarrassing for Wolves. I actually think Wolves will finish bottom of the season, and I think they're going to get a real pasting at Old Trafford. What score? I'm going to have a bold prediction on this one. I'm going to say that Man United win this 5-0.
Interesting. Paula Galatina says, Reece James red card like your sister. She's apologised, by the way. But let's hope England can go and beat Colombia on Saturday. Ian says, draw made after tonight's games, Jack. Yeah. Yeah, England Colombia. That's 11:30 a.m. kickoff on Saturday, so that should be interesting. Hopefully, England will win that and get the semi-finals. Man U 2, Wolves 1, says Bia. 3-0 Man United. 2-0, says Ian. Julie says 2-0. Ratboy, Fernandez, and Highland. Highland's not playing. Julie's injured. Lawrence says O'Neill could do the right thing, could do all right for Wolves, but expect Man U to win 2 or 3-0. Coffee says Onana can be a liability. Yeah. Hate to see it, but 3-0 Man United, says Paul. Lee says 2-1 to Man U. Totally agree with Roly. Brentford 1, Spurs 0, says Holly. Yeah, we don't want to slip on Onana. Well done, Andrew. Well said, mate. Wolves are very bad. And 4-1 to Wolves, says Paula Galatina. Right, okay, so what do I think of this game? Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough ask for Wolves to go there and get a result. But saying that, depends how Man U start as well. I mean, look, it's first game back. I think Wolves will score because Onana is liability. I'm going to say 3-1 Man United. And I don't like to say that about Man United, but I've got to say Man United win that one 3-1. Do you agree with that one, Roly?
I don't see Wolves scoring. I think
Do you not?
Well, and I think that, as I said, I went for 5-0 because I think Man U will do a number on them, especially if they score early. Which will then have all the red shite say, "Oh, we're going to win the league," and then they'll implode after that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
I mean, the thing about it is that, I always say that you never know really where anyone's going to be until you played about 10 games. Then you have a feel for where teams are, who's improved, who's going to be challenging. So, I mean, the first few weeks is almost like stick your finger in the air and see which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah. According to news at the moment, Manchester United are at the moment Man United are looking at they're making a decision on what they're going to do with Mason Greenwood. Apparently Ten Hag wants to keep him there, and he's just waiting the owners to see what they want to do with him. What's your thoughts on that, Roly? Do you think you should be given another chance or not?
Well, at the end of the day, the charges were dropped against him, so technically he's done nothing wrong. And are you punishing him for when he's being exonerated, essentially? He's got himself into that situation. Apparently he's still with the girl and they've got a kid on the way. Was the charge as a result of a tiff, a big bust up? We don't know. It deserves a second chance because technically he's done nothing wrong. Whether you like the videos or the things, he was charged and then the charges were dropped. So he does deserve another chance. I don't want him at our club. I think Manchester United, the management, have to decide what is the best thing to do for both the club and the player. Because it's their players that will decide what's the best thing to do. And it's not a case of, just because the charges were dropped, he did it. Well, technically he didn't. You can't punish something for someone who's not been convicted. So you shouldn't be punishing him for something he's not been convicted for. Maybe they can take disciplinary action because of the charges and that, but which would probably, I'm sure there's some sort of rules and regulations within his terms of the terms of his contract, the behaviour, off-field behaviour, and the like. But I don't think people should crucify him over this because, as I say, the charges were dropped. If they think they've got him dead for rights, they wouldn't drop the charges. Now, some people, the manner of how the charges are dropped or what caused them to be dropped immaterial. They were dropped. So you've got to say the guy is innocent because you know that if they had him banged to rights, they wouldn't drop the charges.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And Roly, I'm going to bring another feature in. So what we're going to do is, on a weekly basis on the Premier League predictions, doesn't have to be Newcastle, it can be any team whatsoever. Who would be your guaranteed goal scorer this weekend in the opening round of fixtures?
Oh, guaranteed score in the opening rounds of fixtures. That's a good one, that. I'm thinking, because I've got Man United to win by so much, I'm going to go for Marcus Rashford.
Marcus Rashford. Anybody in the chat, get your thoughts in. Guaranteed goal scorer in the Premier League this weekend. Now, there's a few in my head who I could go for as guaranteed goal scorer in the Premier League. No, I'm not going Chris Wood, by the way, Roly. Couldn't guarantee if he get a goal this weekend or not. Phil Foden.
Yeah, good shout.
There you go. That's my guaranteed goal scorer. And now this new season is upon us. You know, we're going to have a weekly thing as well. So we'll probably do it on the Premier League predictions. But this is coming back this season. And yes, it is Cock of the Week. So Cock of the Week will be coming back. So anybody who stands out for that award, they will be presented with Cock of the Week. So there we go. Maybe Jurgen Klopp comes into that category. Who knows? But we shall see. So Cock of the Week is definitely coming back. Guaranteed goal scorer for Coffee is Barnes. Good shout. Chelsea with the new manager. Poch 2, Liverpool 0, says Holly. I don't think people will get Greenwood shirts. Man U are 0, Wolves 20, no biased, I just promise. Yeah, absolutely. Hope will survive at the expense of Everton. Well, yes. I think everybody would like that, wouldn't they? Greenwood and his partner need to release a statement or something to clear things up. Yeah, I think so as well. Personally, I believe Greenwood shouldn't even know the charges were dropped. He hasn't been proven not guilty or guilty unless he's fully proven. Then it's not the right time. Yeah, absolutely.
I totally disagree with that because in our legal system, you're innocent until proven guilty, and you've got to stick with that max. So if they drop the charges, you've got to presume he's innocent because you've got to prove that he's guilty.
Ex-Everton player Bernard scored the winner versus Marseille for Panathinaikos. Lawrence says, I know the charges were dropped against Greenwood, but the voice note was enough evidence tells me he's guilty.
It's a difficult one, but in the eyes of the law, he's not guilty. And we don't know the complete circumstances of the tape.
Yeah.
In a court of law, you're innocent until you're proven guilty, and that's how we run our justice system over here. So you've got to stick with that, because if you do it the other way around, you'd be locking up people for anything. You've got to stick with the rule of law, whether you like it or not. He's innocent because they haven't proven him to be guilty. You can think that he's guilty, but in the eyes of the law, he's not, and that's what you've got to go with.
Julie's going Harvey Barnes as well. BS says Nicholas Jackson. Good shout.
Yeah.
Lawrence says Geordie as well. Rashford as well, sorry. Andrew says Archer.
Well, I
You
hope
mean
not.
Cameron Archer?
I hope not. He plays for Villa.
Oh, yeah. Zaha says Clarkey. Isak says Lee. Rashford says Julie. Splat, welcome to the show. He says Isak. Andrew says Archer, he can score and leave bother. I bet he means Zano, who he's on about.
Oh, it's a different type of scoring.
Yeah. Harvey Bond says Ian. Anthony Gordon says Paul. Not a bad one. I forgot to add Rashford to my fantasy Premier League says I'll have Haaland and Barnes and Watkins. Cock of the week, Paul Gallant. Oh my God, lol, another profile pic. Oh, don't have him having a meltdown now, for fuck's sake. Seriously, though, McAllister says Clarkey. You're guilty until proven innocent these days. You can't prove it's Greenwood in the voice tape, says Jack. Absolutely. Foxy says guaranteed goal scorer and Ciso. That's not a bad show, Foxy. Bags of cash to go along, making people innocent. Greenwood, Party, Mendy.
Yeah, you can't say that.
No. Mendy's gone to France now, to Lorient.
Yeah.
Oliver says Greenwood must have paid her to drop the charges. Do you see the videos and the bruises? If he never hit her, who did then? He's a beat end of. He's paid to drop it. Again, it's something we can't get into.
There's some people that, in the privacy of their own homes, like that sort of thing. I'm not saying they did, but I mean, people. You've heard of BDSM. People to actually enjoy that. That's if they're into that. That's where the bruises could come from. You don't know.
Evening to you, Pete. Hope you're well, mate. Bad news: Tony Rangers beats Seville in Champions League qualifier. Well, we've beat them already. Coffee says cock of the week, probably Jamie Carragher for his Eddie Howe signs comment. Yeah, absolutely. Foxy says 2-1 isn't good enough score for Rangers. Think Servette eliminate them now in Switzerland. I'll repeat that. Harvey Barnes for me is guaranteed, says Holly. Ian says
keep away from a Newcastle player, that's all. That's why I went for Rashford.
Splat says, love your show, just running really late today. Hey, no worries, mate. You can always catch up from the start. Pete practices BDSM. Clark, he says BDSM. I love it. Hour last, not so much, especially with. Oh, for God's sake, where have we gone with this? Right, okay, guys. So we are coming to the end of this show. We know for an hour and 3/4. But it's been a great show. We will be back tomorrow night with another show as well. So yeah, absolutely. We will be back tomorrow night. As I say, everything's back in full swing now. Roly has a baseball bat under his bed. Do you have a baseball bat, Roly?
No, I
don't. Coffee says bye, Tony, Roly, PD and all. Bye bye to you, Coffee. What did Pete do to Granny? Good show, guys, says Clarky. Take care, everyone. Roly, do you want to let people know where they can find you, the voice of reason?
I'm on Twitter, and I refuse to call it X. At Pole67.
Yeah. Julie says, great show, Tony and Roly, as usual. Thank you very much, Julie. Paul says, excellent show, lads. Thanks, Paul. Bye, and that says Andrew. Yeah. Spot on short, and I hit the thumbs up for Tony and Roly, says Lee. Thank you, Lee. Julie saying goodbye to everyone. Great show, guys, says Ian as well. Thanks, Ian. Thanks for your donation tonight, mate, as well. And happy anniversary being a member for a month as well. Okay, right. So yeah, you know where you can find me on Twitter and Tony31, so follow me on there and I'll follow you back. If I take that banner off, you can see it. There we go. We don't need that on now. But yeah, If you have enjoyed what you see, then you haven't yet smashed that like, then please do on the way out. It really does help keep the channel towards the top of the search and means new viewers can find the channel more easily. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come and be part of this great community we have here. And also the bell notification tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows. Currently 13 subscribers away now from 1,000, so on 987. So yeah, if you haven't yet subscribed, then please do. And as I say, you'll be part of this great community we have here as well. Let's see what the rest of the comments are saying. Alan's giving a thumbs up. Cheers, Alan. Splat says, see you tomorrow, Tony. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Thank you very much. Next live show tomorrow, Clarky. Tomorrow. So we'll see what happens then. But anyway, guys, it's been a great show tonight. Back with the Premier League predictions. It's great. Premier League is back, you know. It's back with a bang. And, you know, we can't wait for it all. That all kicks off on, you know, that all kicks off on Friday. So, yeah, can't wait for the Premier League to start. And we'll see what happens. And Clarky's like, yeah, thank you. But yeah, until then, remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. It's bye-bye from me.
It's goodbye from me.
How are the lads?